Yeah, but I haven't checked it out yet.
That's right. Yeah, that's my friend from Hawaii connected me with them, Perpetual Assets, and so you'll be able to have a self-directed IRA with them there, and they'll be a help. They're legal in Hawaii.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Starting to get people coming in here. Do you have any questions on anything, anything in particular?
Yeah, more of so about when is a good time to buy. I kind of beat myself up missing last month, like, or actually in June. That was really good time to buy.
Yeah,
But
it still
now,
is.
yeah.
You just want to keep dollar cost average in if you can, just put a little bit in each month, whatever you can afford to. And that's what I'm doing. I'm dollar cost averaging in. There may be another downturn coming up here. We'll see what goes on. It's been kind of down the last couple of days, just slightly down, but nothing huge. But it had been up for the past couple of weeks before that. Certain things started to move up, and other things that remain flat. But everything's following Bitcoin and following Ethereum right now with what's going on in the market.
Mhm.
So not a ton going on. I'm going to share my screen. We'll get into the fear and greed index sitting at 33, which is not a whole lot of change really over. If you look back just a month ago, we're at 31. Then last week, things were going good. Bitcoin was going up. So the fear and greed index went up. It got more positive. Everything went more positive. And then yesterday, the market started to turn a little bit. So it dropped down to 30. And today it was relatively flat. So people around 33. So, you're really in good buying time when the fear and greed index is down inside here, really inside 30. It's good dollar cost average time, or at least historically it's been good time to start buying. And let me get into, let's see if I have Trading View up here. Here we go. So if you look at Trading View, everything's just going to kind of follow Bitcoin with what's going on with Bitcoin. You see, it's been kind of trading sideways, going up a little bit, but trading sideways, going slightly up, which is positive. We want to see that because it had been trending downward, then trading sideways, and another nice drop down. And then it's been choppy, going up a little bit. Now the question is it going to go back down, or is it going to, continue in this trend and still work its way up here slowly but surely? But if you look at some other things, let's just look at Theta and see how that's going in comparison. That's really traded sideways, right? For a long time. It has not had the ups at all. Then shot up last week, went up pretty high to 166. That hadn't been up there in a little while. And then last day here or so, it's dropped back down to 129 that we're sitting at right now. And T-Fuel is pretty much going to follow right along the same thing. If you go to Zilliqa, again, pretty much the same. These charts are all looking the same. They're all going to follow Bitcoin for the most part. And Cardano is another one that's kind of like Theta. Cardano has not made that move yet, right? Coming off its highs further up here around 3, close to 3. It's been sideways for a long time, and they got some new interesting upgrades that they're going to have coming out this fall. So we were talking about dollar cost average, and this one, Cardano, might be a great one to dollar cost average into. I've got a list that I'm going to go over here shortly with you guys. I think that are very good priced cryptos that, pick and choose which ones you want to go into the dollar cost average. But as I go through these charts, you're going to see they all look the same. VeChain's the same. Go to Digibyte. They look identical, right? There's really not much difference. Polkadot has maybe started a slight uptick here, or could still be trading sideways. Now, Bitcoin Cash had a little jump last month. It shot up to 156 after being down, close to and under 100 there for a little while. It was actually under 100. And now it's around 129, 28, somewhere in that range, 126. So it's still a good buy right now. XRP, again, sideways. XLM, the further I go down this list, you see they're all looking the same. There's not a whole lot of difference. Litecoin looks like it may start to uptick a little bit. Let's go to one of them that's been slightly different. Let's see if I can find. Well, we got Matic. Matic had its luck kick right with Disney. It was announced that they partnered with Disney here, so it shot from 53 cents to 96 and went over $1 here. And now maybe we have it correcting back a little bit, but I do like Matic long term for sure. Solana's been trading sideways for a while now. Engine's been trading sideways for a long time. Chainlink has been trading sideways for a very long time. Had a little uptick here, but not much. Tezos, same way, it's been trading sideways for a while. So Ethereum is one that's had this bump up, right? Ethereum actually has outperformed Bitcoin over the past month or so. So, and again, with the merge with going from proof of work to proof of stake coming up here in the next month or two, that's bringing some excitement to it, to Ethereum, and hopefully reducing their gas fees. So that's a reason that's outperformed Bitcoin a little bit. So if you look at this chart here, you see it's a bit more vertical compared to Bitcoin, which is going to be a little bit more flat. And as I was saying, the next one that may outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin here is Litecoin's looking like it may break out. We'll see. We'll see if it does or not. So Litecoin could be good when we get at $58 right now. But everything else, whether it's Shiba and you know, the meme coins or Doge, they all look the same. All pretty much identical charts. See if I go through everything, they're all going to follow along the same thing. Near had a slight jump, but not much. So they're kind of boring. So not a whole lot going on there. CoinDesk, again, that's one of the ones I told you guys to look at there. There's a lot of good information on CoinDesk and CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and these other ones here. Coinbase, by the way, was a BlackRock. BlackRock had announced that they're looking into Coinbase for doing some of their investments. And BlackRock has 9.6 trillion in assets. So if BlackRock just put a small percentage of their assets into cryptos, they would take off. And obviously they would probably lean towards going to Bitcoin and to Ethereum over some of these other projects. So keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on what they do. One other thing I want to get into, wanted to show you guys this. This was for Theta Drop, Dionne Warwick, right? She's announcing her first metaverse project. She's going to do a series of concerts on the metaverse. So we're starting to see some growth here in the metaverse, and might be a good reason to invest in Sandbox and invest in Decentraland, Mana, especially considering I think Mana is 97 cents and Decentraland's or Sandbox is like $1.21. So they're low right now, as is most of the crypto space. But with NFTs, musical NFTs now coming out on Theta's blockchain, on T-Drop, on their exchange, and Dionne Warwick is on the Theta NFT exchange and has real low gas fees there. So I think it's going to be something that continues to grow it. Who else is, there's quite a few. You see the other musicians that are actually going to be having concerts here. Snoop Dogg has already announced a bunch a long time ago, and there's some others following suit that'll be doing the same thing. So, you know, some positive news there on the metaverse and with where that's going to be going. It's just a slow, you know, plodding drive to get there at this point, just because cryptos have been so boring right now. They haven't done a whole lot over the past few months, as you know. Minor uptick, you know, some down legs and stuff. So the excitement's not there, but the innovation's still going on. These companies are still creating a lot behind the scenes. Lots going on. It's just with the market uncertainty, it's just created a flat, more boring market, which is partly why I haven't done a whole lot of, we're going to get to a point where instead of doing every other week, we might have some every week meetings when things start to really heat up and get exciting. Because right now it's just boring. It's going to be the same thing over and over. So I did want to talk about certain projects. I did want to talk about a little bit about Bitcoin Cash. Lewis Jackson has a really good video. I'm not going to waste your time. It's only about 8 minutes and 30 seconds here. He gets into it like, how many Bitcoin Cash do you need to retire by 2025? And he gets into how he looks at the history of Bitcoin Cash. And, Bitcoin Cash had been as high as $2,500. And even as recently as last May, it was not May of 21, not May of 22, it was over $1,500. And now it's 120 some dollars. So bargain price there. And if it gets back up to the price point he's thinking around 13,400 by 2025. And his number that he had, 55.6 Bitcoin Cash for him to retire and get like whatever that amount is, 3.2 million or whatever the heck that amount was. I don't remember what it was, but Bitcoin Cash is a little different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was made to be digital gold. And, there's scarcity to it. You only have 21 million. It's a secure, permissionless network, as is Bitcoin Cash. They have a lot of the same characteristics, but Bitcoin Cash was made to be more of a currency and to be transactionally based, bigger blocks, so faster transactions, cheaper transactions. And it was just built for that, right? It wasn't built as a storage of wealth like Bitcoin was, or like Litecoin was. And even Digibyte to an extent was created to be somewhat similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but Digibyte's really kind of fizzled out here. I'm not sure what's going on with that project. And the former CEO kind of walked away from that project, has it named the new CEO, and he's in a, he's in a backdrop now, not really doing a whole lot. So Bitcoin Cash is one to watch. Theta had been one to watch. I told you it had dropped or had increased up there a bit. Now it's on its way back down from about 166 late last week down to around 130 or so right now. But Theta has a lot going on with their NFT exchange, with Theta TV continuing to grow, with T-Bill, their Theta Cash stablecoin having good success. So there's a lot going on for it. And those are two good projects to be looking for. And before I get into some of the pricing, I did want to get into this because this was this is perpetualassets.com. And, another IRA, self-directed IRA. They have the LLC IRAs here. You could buy gold and silver on these. No different than some of the others. It's just, you can be from Hawaii and other states and be able to buy on their exchange, their license there. So good for some of our people from Hawaii that they're going to be able to buy here and be able to take advantage of some of the same stuff that we can in other states. All right, now let's go to, we'll go to CoinGecko. And let's go over, and the price out Bitcoin just around 23,000 or so, dropping a little bit here over the past 24 hours or so. And Ethereum had touched around 2,000 last week and is slightly under as well. But so I want to go over some of the undervalued, what I think is some of the undervalued cryptos are. And Polkadot has obviously been one of those, and they've got a lot going on right now too. They've got a big ecosystem. They're in the gaming, they're in the metaverse, smart contracts. They're a competitor to Ethereum, just like Cardano is, but they do different things. And they're still so undervalued. I think they were $35 last May as well. So the price point has not moved, even when others have moved. Polkadot, Chainlink, those have not moved. Cardano, and I showed you those charts where they were just relatively flat. All these were relatively flat. Polygon had a nice little bump with its announcement at Disney, and about 6 months ago, I think it was Zilliqa that had that jump. It went from 3 cents to like 26 cents, and now it's back down to like 4.5, 5 cents after the last crash there. So a lot of undervalued coins. Kronos, by the way, is number 26. This is Crypto.com's blockchain. Again, really, I think undervalued too at 13, 14 cents here. And it's number 26. Near protocol. I mean, all these, it's interesting because this was right before we hopped on a call. we're seeing a little bit of a drop here. I don't know whether it's just the time of day or what. From 513 to 477. So that's a, pretty decent drop that we've had here recently. But something to keep an eye on here. So some of the other ones, XRP, right? We're still waiting for that whole lawsuit with XRP to settle. I think XRP is number 7. Yeah, number 7 right now at 36 cents. If this settled, if this SEC suit was settled, this would probably go over $1 pretty quickly and then potentially come back down too. And what would follow it is XLM, because XLM does the same type of thing that XRP does. So they kind of go hand in hand. We've talked about that in the past. Bitcoin Cash, obviously pretty good price. We just talked about that. VeChain, Algorand, another really good, this is again, another competitor to Ethereum and Cardano. You don't hear much about Algorand, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes with them. They've made a lot of good partnerships here and priced pretty well too. So another one that's not a bad one to have. It's not my top 20, but it would be in my top 30. Algorand would be. ApeCoin getting back down into that buyable range of around $5 or so. Again, it's NFT. I'm not super wild about holding this one long term, but it's good, good one to get in and out of. But Decentraland and Sandbox priced pretty well for metaverse projects here. Hedera, Hashgraph, Axie Infinity, the play to earn gain, and metaverse as well. All priced pretty well. Aave, which is really the biggest decentralized finance platform out there, under $100. And you look at this historically, I think Aave has been over $500 at its high. So you're still seeing a lot of good coins to dollar cost average into. So I'm not sure. I want to open up the Q&A and see what you guys think as far as which coins you're looking at, which ones you're liking. Is there any particular projects you guys like? I want to throw it back to you guys here, and so unmute yourself and go one at a time and fire away any questions that you may have, or if you have questions about any particular projects at all. And I'm going to stop the share real quick. Here we go. All right.
Hey, Paul, if you have $5,000 to invest, which coin and how much you will invest, and how do you diversify into different sections?
What's your time frame on like how long you would want that money to be in there? Do you have a certain time frame?
Maybe about a year.
Okay. So if you're thinking about a year, I would probably put about 20% of it into Bitcoin, probably 20% of it into Ethereum. The big ones, reason being is they'll move first and you'll get nice growth with them. So that's 40% of your portfolio right there. And then you're going to have 60%, which I would lean towards Theta. I would lean towards Decentraland, like Mana or Sandbox. Play either one or both of those plays. Maybe you do 10 and 10 of each of those. Bitcoin Cash, again, another one there. And XRP. Those would be the ones I would probably look at right now. And XRP being the wild card with, you'll get a nice little bump when that SEC suit is settled, whenever that does happen. And they're still going back and forth with each other right now. So that would be the way I'd go. And then what happens is as Bitcoin and Ethereum take that initial drive up, if they're ahead of the other ones, you maybe take some profits from there, put it into some of these other altcoins, because they'll follow Bitcoin up, but they lag behind Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin goes up, they lag behind, and then they'll accelerate past Bitcoin. So that it's like making more, and then you can take some of those profits from that and roll it back into Bitcoin and Ethereum and build your Bitcoin and Ethereum over time, and still keep some of those altcoins as well. Keep the ones that you really like and believe in and think that are going to be lasting for a period of time. Like, again, I think of if you get into the metaverse, Mana and Sandbox, Decentraland and Sandbox are my top 2 plays. Gallo would probably be my 3rd, maybe 4th play. Star Atlas is the wild card that's under a penny that you can gamble on. Oh, and one other on the list that has to do with theta that I completely forgot to tell you guys about. It's called T-drop. And you can swap theta fuel for T-drop, which I did about 3 weeks ago. I turned some theta fuel into T-drop, and T-drop went from 0.006 to 0.0079. So it's had a nice little uptick there. That is the NFT exchange. T-drop is their NFT exchange. And the reason I'm shifting a little more there is because I see their NFT platform growing and growing and growing. And that means that coin will grow with it, as will T Fuel too, because that is the gas token for it. But those are good ones with it. So again, just to reiterate, probably about 40% in the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the remaining 60% break up into 2 plays into the metaverse, right? At least probably Decentraland and Sandbar, Theta, XPRT, persistence, if you can get it. It's not an easy one to get. You have to get that on KuCoin. And you're kind of limited with what you can get in Hawaii, right? Unless you use Caleb and Brown, they can get that for you. That would probably be my best referral there for you, especially if you're looking for a year with those projects.
What do you
Anybody
think
else?
about Solana and XC?
Oh, Solana and what was the other one?
XC
FC.
Infinity. Yeah.
Oh, Axie, yes,
XC
yes, yes.
Infinity.
Axie, absolutely. And Axie's probably the #1 play to earn game still out there. Definitely like Axie as well. And again, that's a metaverse play too, but it's more of a play to earn right now than it is the metaverse play. Definitely Axie is still there and very inexpensive right now too.
Mhm.
And Solana's been flat at around $40 for a while now. Definitely a good one, good project. And they're redoing some things in their blockchain to make it even quicker and better right now. So Solana is definitely a good long-term project as well. And undervalued at $40. Yeah, so those are definitely some pretty good ones and pretty inexpensive ones. If you're looking for like your really super cheap ones like VeChain, Zilliqa, that are 2 to 3 cents each, 2 or 2 to 4 cents each, I should say. Those are good plays for low cost ones, just like T-drop would be. But you go to persistence has been as high as $16. It's 72 cents right now. Theta has been as high as $16. It's $1.30 right now. So you got some things that are very undervalued compared to where they've been in the past. Bitcoin Cash also 2,500, its all-time high, and it's at 120 something right now. So those are 3 really, really undervalued ones. And Chainlink is the oracle, right? That's one that ties a lot of blockchains together. So it's super important. I think they're inside of, it's either 8 or 9 different major projects that they're inside of at Oracle communicating. So they're very important. A lot of blockchains can't operate without Chainlink. So it's another underrated one. Again, it's been really, really flat and has not moved, been at $7 to $9 for a long period of time. Cosmos is good. That ecosystem keeps growing and growing and growing. That one's actually gone up a little bit, like to about $11. It was $8 or $9 about a month ago. So that one's had some movement too. Cosmos has. And you can get that on a lot of exchanges. And by the way, you can stake Cosmos for around 10 or 12%. And Polkadot, you can stake for around 12 to 14%, depending on what exchange. So if you wanted to hold those for a period of time, those are good ones to do. And if you're in the, what is the other IRA that I'm in? I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but you can now stake Polkadot within your self-directed IRA in that one. So you're going to start seeing more of that happening as well. Any other questions, Okay. Good questions. I like it. Janice, do you have any questions?
Not right now. I've just kind of written down what you said, but it's the ones that you talk about pretty much what I'm already looking at and whatever. So I don't really have anything that's really different from this,
Just keep dollar cost averaging in, if you have some money to put in there, you get a nice commission, hopefully on a real estate sale, put a couple of bucks in here or there, right? You can afford to play with, right?
Right.
We're in a weird, like, how is inventory right now for you with real estate where you are? You're in Bradenton, right?
No, in St. Pete.
St. Pete, that's right, St. Petersburg.
Well,
Yeah.
I do Bradenton
You
too.
do Bradenton.
Because
We had
I
talked about
live,
Bradenton
I
also.
live at the tip of St. Pete, right by the Skyway. So I do Bradenton and Parish and Ellington and all those too, because it's right there. I can go there quicker than I can go to Tyrone Mall in St. Pete.
Yeah. Your market's still red hot there. You're still very, very hot.
Yeah.
I
and
know a
it's
little more inventory,
still-
but still.
Still low inventory, but it's, yeah. But again, I sell a lot of unlisted properties.
Yeah. How are the investors been? How's their appetite been?
Maddening.
I know.
You know, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm a realtor, so you really don't need to send me a card every day and call me and text me. The answer is still no. I mean, we get, 2 to 6 or 8 calls or letters. We get, Bowman has and I together probably get, and we have rental property too. So between they're driving me nuts. Calling the rent, because our rent is just, especially St. Pete, because we don't have a big rental market.
Yeah.
And they're calling me to rent, day and night. It's just crazy.
And there's not much available to rent, right?
No. And what's available is just ridiculous.
So high priced. Yeah.
There's a 925 square foot house that's for rent for $3,500 a month.
Wow.
Not one of waterfront, not whatever, so it's insanity.
That's what happens with supply and demand, right? When you have limited
Yes.
supply like that, the demand is high and
Yes.
these prices that go crazy for a little
Yeah,
bit.
I just have to get out of St. Pete. I'll go to Manatee or I'll go to
Mhm.
Hillsborough because Pinellas County, because St. Pete, it just drives me insane,
I get
because
it.
we have no land.
Yeah.
So
Very
we
limited
can't
there.
build. We have no rental properties, it's all basically, there's a little complex where they have, say, 10 or 15 little things, and so we have no large, you can go to Tampa over by USF and they'll have a apartment complex with 350 units,
Yeah.
we might make the 3, but we never make the 300 or something. We have nothing like that because there's nowhere for it to be.
Nowhere for it to be. No.
Nowhere for it to
Like
be.
that. You have
Because-
limited land.
Yeah, and because even everything is on or near water, you're not gonna waste it on, on some rental units, so that's the problem we have, Yeah, I tell them I don't sell in St. Pete, I recycle, because I have a guy, that I sold him $1 million waterfront property for him to tear down and build a $3 million house.
That's crazy.
That's insanity.
I know that is insanity, but I've seen people do it, man. I've seen them do it a lot. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's crazy
It's
when they have that
crazy.
kind of money. But it's funny
Yeah.
because I'm looking at the real estate market, as most of us on these calls are both in real estate and cryptos, right? So the investors seem to have the same sentiment in whether it's a stock market, the real estate, or cryptos right now. They're just a little bit uneasy. People are a little bit uneasy.
Right.
Still the demand for rentals, and there's not enough rentals for sure, which is why the rental prices are going crazy. And that's all over the country for the most part, but definitely in the more desirable areas like the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt is still more desirable. So there's still more with that. Stock market is traded sideways. The crypto market's traded sideways here, right? Real estate still going solid. It's just not, it was on a trajectory where you just can't maintain it, right? So now hopefully it's coming to a more normal type of a market.
I have just one guy, because I pretty much don't do a lot with rentals because I don't want to. I don't want to do my own.
Yeah.
So, but I have a guy that I've ever since I got him his properties, if he needs a new tenant or whatever, he only wants me to do it. So I went and I said, okay, I'll throw it on Marketplace and I'll throw it in Craigslist. That's way I don't have to, be on. But I had to like make a special trip home because it's notifications on my phone because it was driving me crazy because I couldn't get in. I bet you in 2 days time, I had 100 people on Marketplace asking me about this rental.
Wow.
And that's not an exaggeration.
No, I know. And Facebook Marketplace has become such a great area, great spot to put, whether you're doing flips or rentals. In certain markets, especially in Florida, especially in Texas, Tennessee, these certain markets, they really like it's one of the best spots. It's like Craigslist, what Craigslist used to be back in the day.
Right. Craigslist comes back a little bit, but and I didn't shut down the Craigslist, but Marketplace, I mean, it's just insanity, you know, and I wasn't thinking because never put anything in Pinellas County, especially St. Pete on Marketplace, unless you want 100 people.
Million calls, right?
I mean, I'm trying to be good. So I'm trying to respond to them. And while I'm responding to them, I get 20 new ones. You know? And I go, I can't do this. I can't do this. You know? It's just crazy. You know? So
that is crazy. That's the crazy market that we're in now. And it's funny, these little micro markets like yours that I talk about, like, and in Naples, where I am down here, same thing, these crazy micro market where people are paying ridiculous amounts.
That's right.
And there's just not enough rentals in these markets. And such demand, and what you're getting is like there's actually a new construction I'm looking at Bonita Springs, just north of me where I am.
Yeah.
And the price is 430,000. And even with a 6.5% interest rate, I could buy that property, rent it out, and make over $1,000 a month, a year-round rental, which is crazy. Just because it's where it's very close. It's not far from the beach. It's really close to 75. It's right off of shopping and everything. So it's an ideal spot and not in an HOA. So I could technically, Airbnb if I wanted to.
Right.
So I'm looking at, like, I never thought I would have bought a new construction potentially as a rental, but that's what I'm looking at right now. The price makes sense, and interest rates are still good enough. For an owner occupant, it's awesome. The builder is offering 3.99% for 30 years fixed. That's only owner occupant though. So,
well, you know, with the new construction here, you know, for a while, they didn't even want to pay us. You know, I hadn't done I'm going back to new construction because now they're offering me $1,500 bonuses and 5 and 6%, just, you know, 9% interest, because when the interest rate went up, they had literally hundreds of contracts that fell out of contract.
That's so many. Yeah.
Yes, that fell out of contract, you know, and so I just, you know, I mean, like, oh, well, okay, I'll go back to, you know, now you think that I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Before you thought I was just a gum on your shoe. You know, it's amazing how, I mean, even FSBOs, I'm starting to do high-end FSBOs again, luxury FSBOs, because, you know, they could just, you know, well, why are you bothering us now? FSBOs, could you please sell? Because, you know, they have time frames they've put into their housing and stuff. Could you please hurry up and sell my house? I said, oh.
Little urgency now, right? Little more urgency they have. Yeah.
That's it.
Market's changing and we're seeing it, and it's changing in front of our eyes, and it needs to happen. Honestly, we need to get to a more normal market because it's been too crazy.
Right. And at least this time it won't be that crazy short sale thing, because people have so much equity, and I'm trying to get them to sell their house, you know, because just think about it. If I have a property that they're netting $2,000 a month from rent, and at the same time, based on our crazy market right now, they could net $450,000. It would take them 16 years to make to make $450,000 when they could have it all together, and without the headache and without whatever. And you may not net 2,000, because what if you have some major repair or something that comes up? So, you know, I'm saying, look, the smartest thing you can do is sell this. Quit renting it. You know?
Unload and get that equity, get that money out of there.
Yeah, and you do whatever you want with it, you know. So that's crazy. That's
It-
it. I'm
it-
trying to say I'm selling my triplex for the same reason. I'm like, I'm done with them. I can just sell this. I can sell it and make, $450,000 and then
Worth
be
it.
done.
Sell at a high, right? Sell at a high market.
That's
Wait for the
it.
market, put that cash in a sideline. When the
That's right.
market changes and things become on sale. And
Then
things
I
will
could
be on
buy
sale,
something, but
boom.
if I want to, but by that time I won't want to because I'm sick of rent to clear, period. But
I
then so that's it. But yeah, I literally I've messed around with it with some people that asked me about it, but I'm putting my triplex on the market. I'm like, why bother?
Yeah, why bother? Get that cash out while you can. And think about this. Put this into cryptos too. Remember this, right? So as that market starts to climb in cryptos, and you start having some pretty good profits, start taking 20%, 25, 30% your profit
Right.
out, putting it back to a stable coin or cash, and then waiting for that next down leg and then buy back in, and you get more and more and more. I was really bad with that until 2021. I didn't sell anything until 2021. I held all my cryptos in 2017 and 20 up and down and up and down. And now I learned, all right, I got to take some profits. And
Yeah, you have
I
to
took some
take
profits, did some stuff with them. Yeah.
You have to take the profits, Paul,
Yes.
because that's
Just
what
like
I
real
told
estate.
I said, even if I do it, I say, I have money to do this and this and this. And then when the market changes, I can just go buy something else if I want to,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
I won't want to.
No.
I'll still have rental properties too. If in the perfect world, very soon, I won't have any left.
Hopefully you'll be able to have enough cash that you could put it in, whether you want to stake a stable coin and earn income off that, or stake a couple.
Yes, well, see, that's what I want to do is I'm
Yeah.
going to stake. And then I also have a couple of REITs that I'm going to put money into because they're paying like 12 and 15,
great
whatever.
returns.
And they have to pay. That's the nature of what they're made, how they're made. So
those are great investments. Those are great investments to be in, and they're passive income, and you're getting, you don't get the tax advantages, but what you do is you don't have any of the headaches either. Right?
No.
You're getting a nice rate of return on your money, which is a great investment to be in for sure. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So yeah, as this market changes and as soon as the cryptos start making a turn back up, whether it's this year or in the early 2023, I'm gonna start taking a bit of those profits. And if real estate's down, I'm gonna start taking profits and buying real estate with it, like I did before. Use that as down money to buy that. So keep that in mind as we shift from market to market. If real estate's down and the cryptos are up, great time to take some of those profits from cryptos and roll it into real estate, right? Roll it into another, whatever's another down, say silver and gold are down, right? Maybe you buy some silver and gold and take advantage of that too. So
yeah, and so that's what I'm doing. And the only other thing is I'm going to start playing with tax liens.
Oh yeah. Buddy of mine does that. He does
because that's like income too.
It is great
like
income.
Florida is a big one. They pay 15% on some of, so just think if you stake a coin and it's 12 or 15%, so just the equivalent, they're paying 15% or whatever. And then I'll buy, like, there's a house that I looked at, when I was looking, I said, I need to already have this set up, and I didn't. And so I didn't buy it, but I had just sold a client a house there, the almost new construction. And I could have bought it on the tax thing for like $150,000. And I could have sold it for $450,000.
Opportunities.
So I was really mad at myself for not.
We've all been there, done that. We've all been there, done that, Janice. So yeah, that's this. You're not the only one. Don't worry. I've been there, done that as well. Missed opportunities, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But then you learn, and next time you'll be keeping your eye out for it. When
I'm preparing for it now, and I have it ready, But I have some sources like for I'll just use private money, and at a decent rate, and then go from there. So
I do a lot of that. I use a lot of private money. I got a couple private lenders that have been really good to me over the past decade, and I've taken care of them pretty darn well too.
Right.
So like I got deals coming up, here they are, and all right, I could fund this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm like, okay, perfect.
Right. Right. That's it. That's it. I even have one that I went through the courses and all that with. And so I like with the Arnold and stuff, I went through that. So I'm certified. So I even get another discount or whatever for the money. So it's
Beautiful. Yeah, Lee's got that capital available,
Yeah.
capital, right? I mean, that is great. It's a great resource. We use it for, we try to push our students there towards that
Right.
the capital as
Right.
well. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll use them and whoever and some other people too. I have people, I guess your name get out if you go through that. And so I have this one guy, it's just persistent. I have $650 million. I want,
I want to lend
don't
it.
you want some? Yeah, right. Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Always looking for that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy, but we're in an interesting market, interesting crypto market. Again, I'm just dollar cost averaging, just to review
Yeah.
what I've been saying earlier. I'm just dollar cost averaging. So do that with what you feel comfortable with. Don't worry about the ups and downs, right? There may be another dip that's like another 10 or 15 or 20% dip. Don't be surprised if that happens. If Bitcoin goes down to like, 14, 15, 16, 17 range,
Right.
man, will I pour in. I've got dry powder sitting on the sideline ready to if that happens. And if it doesn't happen, it's fine. I'll just keep dollar cost averaging with that dry powder and I'll still do okay over time. You love to hit the bottom, but don't worry about hitting the bottom. Just be somewhere in it. And we're 70% below what it was.
And I'm looking for stuff, something like, the last one you're talking about, I'm looking for, that's why I was looking at Polkadot, because I'm looking at something to stake.
And Polkadot's a great stake. And so let's talk about the good ones to stake real quick too. So you got Polkadot, which is going to pay in the 12 to 14% range. And I'm trying to remember well, you could do that on KuCoin. Well, no, KuCoin doesn't support US users. You could do that on crypto.com. You can stake
Crypto.com. Okay.
And I think there might be another one, Binance US, I think is opened up for either 12% or 14% on Polkadot.
Okay.
Cardano, you're going to get around 7%. I'm getting 7%, I think, in the Atomic Wallet on Cardano, I believe it is.
Okay. Atomic Wallet. Okay, I have that.
For Cardano, that's ADA. Let's see. If you buy Kronos through crypto.com, you can stake that with them and earn like 10 or 15% as well, staking their native crypto.
Okay.
T-Fuel, it's paying around 9% right now. I'm just accumulating the heck out of T-Fuel. I have all my T-Fuel staked and my Theta staked. I shouldn't say all of it. I have about 85% of it staked. I have some in case it goes up to be able to sell. Because it takes 60 hours to unstake Theta and T-Fuel. They take a little bit longer. Persistence, you could stake that one and earn 35% till April 2023.
Wow.
Which is great. However, when you stake it is a 21-day unstaking period with them. So keep in mind too. But that return, I don't care. And the next 2 years thereafter, they're guaranteeing another 17.5%.
Wow.
So I'm just buying, accumulating, and holding persistence as much as I can. And while it's 72 cents, I'm probably going to buy some more in KuCoin tomorrow. A little bit more, $500 here, $200 there, and eventually it adds up and you get a bit more.
Yeah, I was reading that one article and it was saying that if you get into something, if you're not sure, for you to be able to make make some profit or whatever from it, or to see what it's doing, you can put 250 in there, like if it's something you're not real sure of.
I like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then you can go from there. So because that's not a real big investment, but it's not a big investment, but it's enough to determine the direction and where
it's going.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I have a few that I might dip like that into and see what happens. Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't use it too often, but when somebody pays me on a Cash App, Usually I turn it into crypto on a Cash App. Like
Oh,
I'll buy
well,
Bitcoin
yeah,
with
because
it.
you
Yeah.
turn into Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Yeah, because my tenants, I have Cash App because all my tenants want to pay me with Cash App, you know.
Cash App and Venmo. So I got Venmo too. And yeah, the same thing. And you can turn it into crypto if you want. You can do PayPal and turn it in there too. But yeah,
Right.
I do like Venmo a little bit better than Cash App, but Cash App's easy. It's simple enough to.
Cash App is easy for them. That's probably why they use it.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
yeah. And I have the one tenant that he works for this company, like he may be in Orlando for 2 months, you know, and
Mhm.
stuff, and he'll pay me, you know, Cash App because it's so easy for them or whatever. So
It is. And if you think about resources like Cash App and Venmo and Zelle, basically are training people for the future of cryptos with how easy it is to exchange from wallet to wallet. That's basically a wallet to wallet peer-to-peer
Right.
transfer.
But
But
Zelle scares me. I used to be
I
in
don't
the
like
tech
Zelle as
world.
much either. Yeah.
I was in the tech world, and the way Zelle works scares me. That's it. And everybody keeps saying, I can't believe you don't have Zelle because you're such forward moving and whatever. So I said, I don't have Zelle because it scares me. You know, it's
funny
like
because-
somebody reaching in my back pocket and taking it before I can turn around. It's gone, never to be seen again in life, you know. So.
And I think it's a much more unuser friendly app. I don't
Yeah,
like
that
Zelle.
too.
It's easy to use Venmo. It's easy to use Cash App. It's easy to use PayPal. Zelle is not
Yes.
as easy. It's not as
Yeah,
easy.
all of that's easy. You know, I tell them, yeah, I'll take, will you take PayPal? Yeah, I'll take PayPal too, you know, but
Yep.
don't talk to me about Zelle. You know, nobody reaches directly in my pocket and takes it out with that easily.
That is funny, but they're training us for the future. They're not, yeah, there is a third party intermediary, unlike Bitcoin, where if you and I do a transaction with Bitcoin, there is no third party person in there deciding. There's no intermediary. It goes boom from my wallet to yours. And
Yep.
the blockchain verifies everything. I love that. Bitcoin Cash is the same way. There's a bunch of them that are similar like that. But
Uh-huh.
I do really, really like that. So they can't seize it, they can't take it, the bank can't yank it back, right? All those
Right.
things, which are great.
Right.
Great.
That's it.
It's just awesome stuff. All righty. And do you guys have any more questions or want me to hit anything before we wrap it up here? I'd be happy to answer any more questions anybody might have. And if not, come with some more for the next one too, but we'll probably do it in 2 weeks, unless this market heats up. If we see it, like if I see this really start to take off one way or another, up or down, we'll have a quick call. Like I'll give you guys notice that we're gonna have a call either that day or the next day if we have a big change. Because I want to get you guys, if it starts to shift and we see something, I want to let you guys know as quick as possible what's going on, what's causing it, and how to take advantage of it. So right now it's just boring, right? There's not a whole lot going on, just dollar cost average, you know, research
Sometimes
projects.
boring is good.
Boring is very good. So boring is how I accumulated the most of my cryptos from 2018 all the way through 2020.
Right.
Just $500 from this deal, $1,000 from this deal. Occasionally I would get a big deal. I'd say put $5,000 into it, right? And before you know it, you've got some pretty good money in there. And then the market starts to take off and you got a lot more money.
Right. Right.
Be ready for that. When
that
time
boring
comes.
is sometimes good. That's the problem. Zelle's not boring enough for me. It'd be more boring when you start dealing with my money.
Yes. Yes. One other important thing to remember too. So we're still so new into cryptos, right? So you got the volatility where you can get these good spikes up and spikes down. As soon as regulation comes in, our ability to get big gains is going to be cut way, way down because you're going to have institutional money getting in there. If BlackRock puts a substantial chunk of change in there, the more money is in there, the less return we're going to be able to get. Then it's you got to get lucky with like a startup or a newer one or something that becomes innovative. So keep that in mind. That's why I keep dollar cost averaging into certain projects you really like and believe in. Some of these are really going to take off. And then when they really, really take off and do well, we'll have one of our coaching calls here. We'll pop a bottle of champagne and we'll toast to it.
That's it.
And hopefully it'll be well. We all be doing well at that point. So If we don't have any other questions, I think we'll call it a night here. And if you guys do have questions in the meantime, you could always feel free to email me, okay? If you
Okay,
have anything where something pops up that you're like, I forgot about this. And most of you are pretty good about that. And you'll just send me a quick email and stuff, and I'll get back to you as quick as possible with stuff.
okay, sounds good.
All righty, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and let's plan on meeting probably 2 Thursdays from now. And we'll go over it here again. All righty, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you much. Yep.
Right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.